Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of the Stuff and Things Podcast. I am Sam. Joining me on this very special episode, which we've titled Episode 9 and 3/4, and it'll probably be obvious why soon, it's Stefan.
Good day, morning, night, evening, how are we?
Yes, all good. All of those things applicable to someone, I'm sure.
Someone somewhere must work, yeah.
So today it is, it's this.
You're a wizard, Harry.
He's a wizard, Harry. It is Wizarding World. It is Harry Potter. It is episode 9 and 3/4.
This is going to be fun.
It can be. It can also be a little bit tricky. So one of my very, very close friends is a massive, massive Harry Potter fan. And when I gave her the concept of this is like the show going forward and these are the different things and 1 week we're going to do Harry Potter, she was like, be very careful talking about JK Rowling.
Oh yeah, we don't talk about her. She will cancel us like this. Done.
Oh yeah, no, I'm there. I'm going for JK.
Oh god.
And yeah, strap in everybody.
It's been fun, everyone. Unfortunately, there won't be another podcast.
Yeah, episode 9 and 3/4 of the new show before cancellation. And yeah, so I was just like, oh, really? Do you think? She's like, yeah, be very careful. I was like, oh, all right, well, you know me. So here we are. I can actually feel her tension, by the way, coming across while she's listening to this. I'm
scared for what you're going to say.
Don't be scared, man. Come on.
I follow her. I followed her on social media. I know she will go for people.
I still follow her. Anyway.
I think I do.
So, JK Rowling wrote the Harry Potter books. An amazing, incredible thing. This was a single mother writing in a cafe not far from where I live, by the way. Like, to the point that there's a local town near me that she hated, that she said the people were just horrible, so she named the horrible family after them.
The Dursleys.
Yeah. That's hilarious to me. Like, and if you live local to where I am, that's kind of funny and stuff like that. So the idea, this lady had an idea, and just a full disclosure, I am someone who desperately wants to write. Like, I really, it's the only creative outlet I got. I can't draw. I can't play any musical instruments. I sort of play the violin and I can beat the crap out of the drums to a beat, but nothing to any level. I can sing when I'm drunk, but maybe only I think I can sing when I'm drunk. So, like, the only creative outlet I've got is that I write, and I have these ideas, but then I write it down and I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's not good. And so anyone who has managed to achieve, like, take an idea that they had, put it down on the page and create, I have just so much respect for.
I have tried multiple times, and every time I can get maybe 1 or 2 chapters in, and then that's it, I'm done. Like, I think I have an entire novel planned out.
Yeah.
Get into the second chapter, and at that point normally go, oh, I've already screwed the plot up.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go.
It's very, very difficult. I mean, if we want to be controversial at the start of the show, we could just say that she rewrote Star Wars with wands instead of lightsabers.
Now, this is going to start a fight.
Stefan has left the chat.
Yeah. So I'm going to just boot him. There is the very, very very funny comedy sketch, which says JK Rowling didn't write a masterpiece, she just wrote Star Wars with sucky lightsabers. Yeah, there are similarities. There are massive similarities. But at the end of the day, JK Rowling has sold so many books, the Bible worries about her, right? Like, so many have been sold. And she did a phenomenal job creating this world, this immersive kind of intertwined with reality into this other whole dimension of like magic and wizards and things like that, and came up with all of these concepts, all of these ideas, like, and so many terminologies are now used, like phrases thrown around, all have originated from her writing. It's incredible. She's vastly wealthy. She's done great for herself, and she's then advocated a lot for sort of women, young girls, done loads of things along those lines, and spent her money. I think she was the first billionaire to become a millionaire again through charitable donations. That's an insane statistic.
That's
because
impressive.
you don't get very many billionaires giving their money away ever.
No.
But she did. She's like, it's more money than I can ever spend in a lifetime, and she just did all of this work, and that continues, by the way. The controversy around her is her views around trans and her views on how that impacts women's rights. I am not smart enough to comment on that. I'm not. I respect her as an author. I respect the work she's done. And so in this podcast, we're going to focus on that. We're going to focus on the films, the spin-offs, and all that kind of things. If you feel so strongly that, like, you know, her view on this is so abhorrent, I mean, then you're smarter than me, because how these situations can be judged and things like that when I don't know enough about it, that's for other people. So this show is going to be focused purely in on Harry Potter, the creation, not the creator. Does that make sense?
Let's do it.
Start with the books. What's interesting on this is they never interested me. Like, the books, they came out at a time when I was of an age where maybe they just seemed a little bit young for me at that point, or perhaps in my mind they were a bit young for me, just like, oh, you know, I'm reading about, you know, special forces, soldiers behind enemy lines. Why do I want to read about an 11-year-old wizard? Didn't appeal to me any point at all. You're that much younger than me. Did you read the books when you were younger?
Oh, I did. I grew up with the Harry Potter books. Anyone who knows me and has listened to our podcast for a while, has heard how I pronunciate certain names and stuff.
Did you just say pronunciate?
Yeah, just to prove my point. You know, you've seen how I pronounce like the certain names and stuff as we've gone through these podcasts. Can you imagine me trying to read the Harry Potter books when there are names and spells being thrown around?
Well, this is
and then go to school and be like, oh yeah, did you see what happened to so and so? And I'm there going, I've read the book. Who the hell is that? What do you mean? You know, Sirius Black.
Yeah.
As a child, his name was Citrus Black. Don't know why,
Mate.
but that's how I read it.
I'm gonna say this semi-seriously. Have you ever been tested for dyslexia?
Oh, I am. Yeah. I am dyslexic. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fine. That's fine.
There's a few. I like the spells. My God, I needed the movies. I needed the movies just to tell me how the heck to say some of these.
Well, I was about to say to you how many. I'm guessing your friends corrected you then, but I was going to say how many character names and stuff when you watch the films where you're like, oh,
Bellatrix.
Yeah,
I did not read that as Bellatrix.
How did you read it?
I don't even remember now because I've seen the film so many times, but I know for a fact that was not Bellatrix.
Well, it is kind of funny because how you read something the first time can then ingrain in your brain. And I mean, that happens to me sometimes with words like I should know. I tell you what, I play every day with my dad Wordle, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's what's hilarious about this is sometimes you'll get like 3 or 4 letters in place. So you're literally cycling through a letter to like nail the word. So you're like, okay, it's L-O-U-D. You're trying to get the first letter. Okay, so you're going through all of them, like trying to like B loud, no, it's not that. M loud, no, it's not that. No, it's not that. And then you'll get to like C. The word's obviously cloud, But your brain's in this kind of mode of like trying to sound it out. So it's like cloud. No, it's not cloud. Like you just like, so I get it. Like you get this idea in your brain, and all of a sudden it clicks, and you're like, oh, you dumbass. Cloud. You're like, I know what it is now. So yeah, I do understand that. I do understand you sort of look at it and then you've pronounced it. But so it's kind of funny. So I never read the books, but my daughter didn't like reading at all. Like it was a real struggle. Like she liked being read to, but lazy little so and so didn't like to sit and read. Whereas my nephew, who's a year younger than her, used to go through books every week. He'd fly through them. But of course, the Harry Potter films were in existence when my daughter was younger.
Yep.
Now I had never watched them because I never read the books. Didn't really have that much of interest in it. And then so she's younger and she wants to watch, like she's now read the first one. She wants to watch it. So okay, yeah, I'll put it on. I loved it. It was a family action adventure film. It was fun. And I was blown away by the kind of world that had been created, and I absolutely loved that it sat alongside the real world. Like it wasn't sort of like, oh, in this world we have magic. It was a kind of like the world is as you know it, but hidden away. You know, this
you
is
go
what's
into
going
London
on.
and they go into the Ministry of Magic and you don't know it's there because you don't know
Exactly.
what letterbox or post box or whatever, telephone boxes and all that sort of thing. Everything has different meanings. You're like, oh.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, and of course, this episode we're titling 9 3/4 in honour of the fact the train platform to get to Hogwarts School is 9 3/4. Would you like to hear a very, very silly fact on this?
Always love silly facts.
Okay, where is the train station? Where is that platform based?
King's Cross in London.
Okay, and in the films, where did they film it?
Probably not in King's Cross, London.
Not in King's Cross. In London, but at Waterloo Station. And if you go back and watch it now, you'll spot it straight away. That's not King's Cross.
Yeah, see, I used to live very close to London and I spent a lot of time in London.
Yeah.
And I know that King's Cross Station has massively cashed in.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Big
a Harry
time,
Potter store there.
Yeah.
There is half a trolley hanging out of a random wall with 9 3/4
with-
above it and everything. And I remember standing on, I think I was standing on platform 9 or 10, one of them.
Yeah.
And I remember, this was about 10 years ago or so. But I remember standing there looking around going, this doesn't look like the movie.
No, it really isn't. The other funny thing as well, by the way, and I didn't know this was a thing until this very year, every year on the day that the Hogwarts Express leaves, at King's Cross Station, they do an announcement for the train to leave from platform 9 3/4.
They do.
And loads of people gather there, and I mean like loads of people gather there as tourists and all sorts to celebrate that moment and cheer. I mean, this is in crazy reach of this film, these books. Like, that is a devoted fan base.
I mean,
like,
you've only
really
got to
quite.
look at... So, Universal Studios in America,
Yeah.
they have the Harry Potter lands. They've got one which is you go through London and then you go through the brick wall and you can go to all different shops. You can go to Gringotts and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You then go... In the other Universal Park, you have Hogsmeade and all the shops around there and the Hogwarts Castle.
Yeah.
They've now just opened Epic Universe, which has got 1920s France from the Fantastic Beasts and bits, yeah. And you've also got the Ministry of Magic. There's a new ride and stuff there, but you have to go through the flu powder and stuff. And any time one of the actors from the original movies has passed away, they do like this massive thing at the park where at, I think it's like 9 o'clock at night or something, all of these Harry Potter fans turn up to the park, wands up in the air, and they have this big moment and stuff. And you just have to see the amount of people that turn up to do these. And you sit there and you kind of go, this is a real massive thing.
It is, yeah. And I always like, it was a global phenomenon, but it just kind of, it's also written and produced. It's so British, like the school uniform, like everything. It is so British.
Yes.
And so it's just kind of like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, does this really translate? And I think it goes global, and I think people kind of liked that. Like, it's kind of like, oh wow, this is so, quaint, so Brit, kind of thing. I have friends in America who absolutely love Harry Potter. I mean, like, really, they're actually nervous for the series this coming because they love the film so much.
I'm nervous for the series coming on.
Well, it's kind of like you look at the filmmakers and the people behind it for the films, and then you look at the TV series that's being produced, and you're kind of like, is it going to get seriously Americanized? I mean, that's a question I can't answer. No one can yet.
See, for me, again, mildly controversial. I do not like the films based purely on the fact of how much I love the books, and there was no way on earth. Like, you look at the size of some of the books.
Yeah.
You are not getting that into a 2.5 hour movie.
Well, no, but you shouldn't be. It's based on. We've had this conversation
whereas
so many times.
I genuinely believe if that had been made originally as a TV series like it's being made now, with each series being a school year, you've then got anywhere from 6 to 12 normally kind of episodes now.
Yeah.
An hour each episode, you can really do justice to the books now in that amount of time.
Yeah.
So part of me is really excited for this because I'm like, there's silly bits from the books that aren't in the movies, and you just kind of watch the movie and you go, they've missed that bit. That's a shame.
Yeah.
And they've now got the chance to really dive deep into the books because they're going to have so much more time.
Yeah.
That really excites me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've also then got that issue of a lot of people are having is that you've already got the movies, so therefore those characters are who people know.
I'm quite surprised you just said you didn't like the films.
No, I've never been. I've watched them all. I've watched them all multiple times, and my wife absolutely loves them. This is probably actually the only podcast my mother will listen to because she absolutely adores Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The kids, our kids have just started. They've watched. Well, the older two have watched the first Harry Potter film. They're going to be watching the second one soon as well, I guess. And they've enjoyed it and stuff. I've just for me, I enjoyed the films, but I never loved the films. I loved the books.
Okay, well, I mean, you enjoyed them a minute ago. You were like, I hated them. So
I didn't love them compared to hate is a strong word. I didn't like them anywhere near as much as I loved the books.
Okay.
I would much rather sit down with the book and reread the book than sit and watch the movie. Yeah,
I mean, I think this is a classic, book reader snobbery.
I don't read many books, but yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, it just like so for me, I didn't read them, so it's obviously very different for me. And there are certainly shows and movies that have been based on books I have read, and I've had to say to myself, yeah, of course that's going to be different. You know, I never thought they'd be able to bring that to the screen. And some of the books I read, they really shouldn't bring certain things to the screen. Like George R.R. Martin's writing for the Game of Thrones series, for example, was like, yeah, this whole character's been written out. I get why. Like, yeah, that was dark.
Yeah.
So when it comes to this, I guess I don't have that frame of reference. My reference was watching the films. My daughter just being blown away by it, and that's kind of like a magical moment for me because that's that kind of, she very rarely live action captivated her. Like animated films she'd sit and watch, live action she'd kind of 10-15 minutes maybe and she'd kind of give up, but it was the Harry Potter films and National Treasure, if you know those films.
I remember those ones.
Cage. She loved that. Like, just to this day, if it's on, she'll still sit and watch it, which is nice. But what was funny was she watched basically all the way up towards the ending, and I was in this kind of weird thing where it's like, well, the other films I've now watched, I've gone ahead and watched them, and I'm they're probably a bit too grown up for her at this time. So I made a deal with her, and the deal was if she read the books, then she could watch the films.
Okay.
Otherwise, she'd have to wait until she was older to watch them. Needless to say, she ended up waiting rather than reading the books.
Brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, absolute little sod. And yeah, so she did. So she watched like the first 5 films, I think, in like a school holidays, and then waited 3 years to watch the rest.
What's the next one? Because I am not picking a book up.
Basically, yeah, that was her whole thing. Like, I have an iPad and movies. Why do I need a book, Dad?
Oh, I love him. I love him.
Oh no, I failed there. Like, there's some things with parenting I feel like I've done a really good job, and then her inability to read anything, I feel like I really failed.
There's a small part of me now that's like, I need to go read the books again.
That's so funny. So from your point of view, the books are supreme. They're brilliant. I really like the films. What's interesting to me is we then have these spin-offs called The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The first film, so it's a trilogy of films. It was originally going to be 5. The first film, I absolutely loved it. The concept, the magical creatures. You had the fact that we've gone to America, so things are the same, but just that little bit different. Like, muggles were called no-mages, and these little quirks. I was like, I'm loving this. This is like expanding the world. This is kind of really interesting. I thought Newt Scamander was just this amazing character.
Yeah.
So that first film was great. I enjoyed it start to finish.
And it was back in time as well. So it was the 1920s, 1930s.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we always had that link to this because that book is in the Harry Potter films and books, obviously.
Yeah. So it was. I really enjoyed it, and I would have quite happily watched Adventures with Newt Scamander, if you know what I mean. Like, the second
100%.
film, third film had just been going to different parts of the world, trying to track down different creatures, etc., etc., etc. But what we got...
That's what I hoped it was going to be. That's what I was excited for and hoped it was going to be.
You and me both. It didn't happen. Basically, we had a love story between 2 wizards and them set on this destructive path against each other. And although, you kind of set up Grindelwald in film 1... Johnny Depp, Colin Farrell. You then had him dropped by Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Controversially, massively controversially, because they then tried to get him back, but he quite rightly told them to go themselves.
Yeah.
As he's done with everybody since.
Why? Yeah.
Oh, massively, yeah. And then, do you know they had to pay him in the end? Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, so they breached his contract to get rid of him. He said, you've got no reason or justification because I'm innocent of this. When he got proven innocent, they obviously tried to rehire him, like, oh, sorry about that, friends. And he was like, no, go yourself. And they ended up paying him $30 million, which he gave to charity.
Fair play to him.
Yeah, he gave to like loads of sort of like, I think just after it was settled, they had like all the fires and stuff in California.
Oh,
and he gave all of it to Ascent, to like all the like fireman relief funds and stuff like that. So yeah, but no, he really told them all to go for themselves, which is a shame because I think he would have added something to those films which was then lacking. But when you know that there's this whole feeling in amongst the USA especially, which is the biggest market for these films, of the, go woke, go broke kind of scenario.
Yes.
And your main concept for this is a gay romance between 2 wizards. It was always going to lose. Like for me, none of that doesn't faze me, whatever. I didn't think it was a good concept. I didn't think it was needed. I didn't think you needed Dumbledore. You don't think you needed any of these characters. I wanted to follow Newt. and yet Newt became a secondary or even tertiary character in the next two films. Like it was like you could have removed him and you wouldn't have even noticed.
See, now again, I haven't actually seen the third one.
Okay, well, don't.
Because I gave up. What I wanted from these films, like we said, was the first film was just brilliant. I loved the first film. Yeah. I watched the second film. So again, I will actually say I did love the first film, as long as what I've said about Harry Potter stuff. I loved the. I thought it was brilliant. And then the second one came out, and I was like, "Oh, Fantastic Beasts! And why do they even bother matter?" You know.
Yeah.
You've not really mentioned anything like this. This is all now about this one weird kid. Like, this doesn't have anything to do with what I thought it was going to have to do with.
No.
And then the third one was all about Dumbledore and the other guy, and I was like, again, nothing to do with Newt.
It was
and
even
his Fantastic
titled.
Beasts.
Yeah, it was even titled like The Crimes of Grindelwald and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I was like, so it's got nothing to do with what you sold us on. What would it be?
No. So it was originally going to be 5 films. They then ended it at a trilogy just due to the sheer box office drop-off. To give you an idea, the global box office for Fantastic Beasts was just under $1 billion.
Yeah.
The second film was just under 800 million. The third film did just under 400 million.
That's a drop-off.
And largely due to the second film. Because I think a lot of people went to the second film based on the first, and then when it came to the third, we're just like, nah. Not even remotely interested. I watched all of them, and to me it was just a massive shame because it felt like a lost opportunity to have a lot of fun within the Harry Potter world universe that's been created, to have these fantastic beasts and creatures to be the centre story, because you could have written really great action adventure stories dotted all around the planet, couldn't you?
Oh, definitely. If you take the concept of Newt Salamander made these books,
yeah,
and they're now being taught at Hogwarts to teach you about these things. Now, how much fun could you have had with these movies? Like, all around the world, and all these different fun scenarios of mystic creatures causing havoc everywhere.
Yeah, you get to create these things as well. Like, he's in Australia right now due to a superoo. What's a superoo? Well, it's a 14-foot high kangaroo. It's like, what? You know? Yeah. You got, and if you wanted, like, the guy who he met, who I think added a lot in the first film, because he was kind of, you had to explain everything to, or like you got to see all of this wizarding world through his eyes.
Oh, the baker, yes.
Yeah, and it was kind of wonderful and kind of lovely that you were getting this all through his eyes. So if you wanted to involve him and you wanted to, like, you know, do you want to come with me? Like, do you want to like help me write my book? And like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? It could have been, you could have had so much fun with that. But yeah, that's not the way they went, and I think it was the poorer for it, which is a shame, because I see the film Fantastic Beasts, I will still put it on, and I will enjoy it start to finish.
Yeah.
I see the sequels, and I just got zero interest, which is a real shame. But that brings us then to what's to come. So it was announced a couple of years ago now. It was announced that HBO had won the rights to create a Harry Potter TV series. In essence, using the books as the source material to flesh out those stories, like one season per one school year.
Yes.
So, a few things to this. Straight away, I want to talk about concerns. Concern number one is around expectation in casting. And I think we've already seen a really controversial casting choice, which to me is deeply problematic, and we're going to circle back to that in a minute. But when you watch modern TV now, produced by these people like HBO and stuff like that, one of the things that bugs the hell out of me is the length of time it takes them to put these shows together now. Now, don't get me wrong, the quality of these shows compared to the quality of TV shows in the 80s, 90s, 2000s is night and day. It's Hollywood level, movie level production values, and I get that.
Which is almost actually the problem.
Well, it is. But you cannot, for me, do this show where you're going to have one season, miss a year, season 2. And the main reason you can't do that is the aging of children.
Oh, God, yeah. You're going to end up with 25-year-olds playing a 17-year-old.
If not worse. Because the biggest, I know it's not a show you've watched, but on Netflix, one of the biggest shows on the planet is Stranger Things.
Yes.
That show, season 1 of that show, try and guess what year it gets. Season 5 airs in a month's time.
Yep.
What year did season 1 come out?
Oh, God, see, that feels like it's been around forever.
Yeah.
You're looking at what?
Season
5, so it's
2025.
Yeah.
And season 5's coming out. So when would you logically think season 1 came out?
You would like to think no later than 2018, really.
Yeah. So season 1 of Stranger Things came out in 2016.
Jeez.
The children in that then were between 13 and 11 years old.
They're now 10 years older, but only 5 years.
Yeah, has passed. Yeah.
And
so,
again, I haven't watched it, but how many years has passed in those 5 seasons?
Mate, it's linear. So not even 4 years between series, some of them. So you have got now, and by the way, they've all grown up, and of course they're going to grow up. The boys now look like young men, and of course the girls now all look like young women.
Well, Millie Bobby Brown is the main character in all of it, has just got married and had a kid.
Married and adopted a child, and was 11 when this started, and season 5 hasn't even aired yet.
Yeah, so she's she's a mother now, married, and she's got to go back and play a 12-year-old.
Well, 14.
14-year-old,
yeah. It's still, you look at them, mate, and it's a joke. You look at them, some of the other characters as well were playing high school versions of stuff. Now their appearance hasn't changed massively, and obviously thanks to makeup and things, they can still look a bit younger than what they were. But it's still you're pushing 30 now, and you're playing it's a bit like back in the 80s with The Breakfast Club, and it's basically a bunch of 30-year-olds playing teenagers. It was ridiculous, but it was what it was. You just kind of accepted it.
Yeah.
But with this, it's mad, and that does concern me. That does worry me, because the people making this are the same people who make the Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and those series have all become every other year. And if they do that with this, by the time you get to a season 3, the kids are going to look completely aged out. It's not going to work. It's just going to look weird. So how they film it, I think is going to be interesting. To me, it almost feels like they're going to need to film it almost back to back, even if post-production takes it longer, if that makes sense.
I know what you mean. It just needs to be... It needs to be there in the can, done, so that we've got some sort of consistency with it.
Exactly. But how they do it, I don't know. But that's a concern to me. All of the casting I've seen, which is interesting because I never read the books, so I'm basing the casting off of
purely off the movies,
what I've seen in the films. So I know, the words. I know these characters are all red-headed, etc., etc. So I look at the casting for them, and I think, oh yeah, they all look really great. Brilliant. Ron looks great. Hermione looks great. And I saw the young lad who's been cast as Harry. Wow, what a responsibility that kid's got on his shoulders.
Yeah, that's the rest of his life, isn't it? You will be Harry Potter.
I was like, wow, that kid, he looks great. Everything, I've gone all the way through, and there's these different teachers have been cast. Hagrid got cast. It's someone I never would have picked, but I love Nick
Do you know
Frost.
what? That, for me, is one of the best castings they've done.
Oh, he'll be brilliant, because his West Country accent is a natural accent. Of course, a lot of people don't realise Hagrid is say Bristolian, which is me.
Yeah.
You're a wizard, Harry. So that, again, just because of JK living around here at the time, probably saw the accent and thought, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
A big hairy bushman. But yeah, so I look at all of this and I think this is amazing. This is really, really great. So now we've got to talk about the controversial casting, and the controversial casting comes around race swapping the character of Snape. The gentleman who's been cast is black, and therefore a lot of people are deeply, deeply concerned of the connotations that brings. Now, from just watching the films, I know there are elements in the films which I think to myself, oh my god, with that race swap, all of a sudden there's a lot of different connotations to things that happen in the films. Like in the films, and I want you to speak on the books in a moment, by the way. Like, Harry literally takes a look at all the teachers, looks at Snape and goes, he's dodgy.
Yep.
Like, straight away, I'm like, that's...
You can't say that nowadays.
Like, you can't... Like, surely they're not going to be able to add that in. Like, the whole thing about this was these are going to be truer to the books. These are going to be much more, like, in the books, everything like that. Snape, I believe, is described in the books as having skin as pale as, like, milk and stuff like that. Yeah. That would suggest that he's not black in the books. I get that this is a made-up character and you can do these things, and okay, that's fine. But there are certain connotations, like the fact that Harry's dad hangs him up from a tree at one point. And I'm kind of like, that's got a really bad connotation with a black person being hung from a tree.
In the books, Severus Snape is described as a thin, lanky man with shoulder-length, greasy black hair, a large hooked nose, and sallow, pale skin, with cold black eyes, and often wears a black flowing robe that makes him appear like an overgrown bat.
Yep.
That's not what they've cast.
No, and I remember, like, my friend who's really into Harry Potter was just like, forget the colour, he's too good looking. He's a handsome guy.
Snape's not meant to be an attractive bloke. He's meant to be the dungeons. He's the potions master, and he's not meant to be Gilderoy Lockhart or anything like that.
We know, from reading the books, I know from watching the films, the arc for Snape is phenomenal across the series.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And what you learn about that character by the end is sensational. Like, it's so well written.
By far one of the best characters in the books. And Alan Rickman in the movies was just phenomenal.
He is something else as an actor. He's so badly missed.
Taking away the actor and what the actor himself brought to the show, the character themselves, when you've got to the end of the books and you realise everything that character has gone through, what he's gone through and why he's gone through it, probably the best character in the book.
I think so. And I think that's probably why when I'm looking at this, I'm like, I'm worried. I'm concerned because we know the ending, and sticking that ending's great, and this character coming through everything, but before you get to that point, there's a lot of stuff where he is singled out as dodgy and pointed at as kind of, and when you've got a faculty of white cast members and him being the only black one there, it feels like you're bringing a racial element to something that never existed.
It doesn't need it. Certainly doesn't need it, really. And you kind of look at all this stuff that happens with the character. Yeah. If you are then suddenly going to, turn it into a black character, there's a lot of stuff there that's going to be said and happen that's just going to make you look at it and go, that's not comfortable.
Well, it's not comfortable. I mean, you go back to the flashbacks with, like, Lily and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, her family didn't approve of him and stuff like that. So, well, why would that be? Like, oh, yeah, I can't really be seen with you. We can't really be friends. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, and like you say, the fact that Harry's parents and godfather were so awful to this one kid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that worries me. It worries me because I'm fearful that they are actually going to steer right into that and make it into a racial thing. Because if you do that, you're adding an element that isn't there in the book, so you're not being true to the books. You've done that. The other way is to change all of those things. So again, you're not being accurate to the books. You're changing things. But if you do steer right into it and you want to make it a racial thing, then all of a sudden James Potter's a racist asshole. Yeah. He's not a good guy. And all of a sudden Sirius Black is a racist asshole.
And when he dies in the show, everyone's going to be like, "Ha! He deserved it."
Yeah, and all of a sudden
Harry's stuff.
And clearly Harry's got a bit of that in him, because his first reaction to seeing him was he's dodgy. Why would he be dodgy, Harry? What are you seeing that makes him dodgy? Gee, I wonder.
The only guy on the faculty that's of a darker skin complexion?
Yeah.
Must be him.
So it worries me. Like that worries me that they've either not comprehended that, or they're just going to stare right into it. And it worries me because I want it to be a success. Like, I want it to be an interesting, entertaining show. I want it to be something I can watch and connect with my daughter, watching, like, oh, like this, oh, that was similar to the film, or that wasn't, stuff like that.
Yeah, like, I want it to be so good that we end up in our kind of chats on WhatsApp and on here going, we need to do an end of season 1, like, Harry Potter special. I want it to be that good that we have to be like, we can't not do a show on this. But I want it to be for the right reason and not look at the world reaction to how they've done it and go,
that is what concerns me. Because this is the thing, a lot of the time when I discuss these things, it's not so much like I can look at it and go, yeah, that could be a problem, or that casting choice, I can understand it. I do fear I am actually a ridiculously easygoing, reasonable person in all these things. So I am someone who's going to be open-minded when this comes on, see what they do with it, make my mind up.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are not that. so a lot of people are just seeing this casting and have decided to hate it.
Like, if they do go into this wrong, I can see this not getting past season 3.
Well, I mean, that...
Like, fan reaction-wise, we've seen with other shows and other bits and pieces that we watch ourselves, things get cancelled purely on fan reaction.
Yeah, and I mean, you only got to look at the Fantastic Beasts. That was a 5-film franchise. They signed everyone up to it. They had it all mapped out. And by the time it hit the 3rd film, they were like, no, we're pulling this because it's costing us too much money and we're losing money. You look at this show. Yeah. This show is costing a lot of money to put together.
Yeah.
Like, they are cinematically going to make this as good as they possibly can. Just finally on this, there was a lot of locations, for example, used for the films, which they've abandoned for the TV series. They have filmed some stuff in London. They cottoned up the train station, etc. So they have done some location stuff, but the vast majority of it has been studio based.
Yes.
Do you think that this is kind of like a conscious thing? We want to make sure it looks different to the films, because otherwise you're kind of just redoing the films and then that's weird? Or do you think that it's a cost thing? Which I know sounds a bit crazy, but I'll give you an example on this. Hogwarts School.
Yep.
My daughter goes there. The school they used is a cathedral school in Gloucestershire, and my daughter attended that school as a kid. And so she could walk. Cool. So she could walk down all the corridors and everything. You see Harry and Hermione talking. There's that scene where Ron tries to make him eat slugs and ends up the wand shooting himself in the face. That is literally like Phoebe and her friends sitting and ate their lunch there, so it's kind of crazy, like, for that sort of point of view. But they've not done any of that this time. They've not done location shoots. They have basically brought all of that into studio. I mean, I get it, because of course you want to try and keep, I guess, leaks to a bare minimum, I guess. But yeah, it just, I do wonder about it. Like, do you think that that's a costly, or do you think that is a conscious, we want it to look different?
I don't know. I'm disappointed that a lot of it is studio based, because I think that is what made some of the movie bit's so visually wonderful is that it was based in real locations at real places, and you get the real backgrounds and all that sort of thing. When you make it studio based, you will be able to tell the difference.
Well, they have done some locations, like I've seen all the location shoots of them in London, for example. So I know that exists, and it could be that we're just going to get kind of aerial shots and stuff like that. And obviously Hogwarts School was completely made up, but the internal shots and stuff like that and the external was all done at this cathedral, like next to the Gloucester Cathedral.
Yeah.
Which is which is crazy. It's great, but they've not done that this time. So again, Hogwarts, I wonder if Hogwarts is going to look a little bit different.
I think it's going to have to. I think the fact that they're trying to completely redo it, I think they're going to have to make it look different. Whether that's going to work or not, I don't know, because again, everyone knows, the same as the actors that are going to be in it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what it looked like, because I would say pretty much everyone that watches this show will have seen at least one of the movies.
Have you seen that there is an actor reprising his character?
There is.
Do you know who it is?
It is Professor Flitwick.
Yeah, Warwick Davis is returning to the same character as he did in the films.
Which, again, is one of those things where it's like, if you're rebooting it all completely from fresh...
Yeah.
Is that not now making your own problem by the fact you've brought back a character? Because there's multiple characters that you could... I mean, okay, there is quite obviously a few exceptions that you cannot bring back.
Nope, that's very true.
There's enough characters there that they could have brought back to reprise their role.
Yeah, could have done, but yeah.
But if you're trying to make it completely brand new, should you bring back any of them at all?
I did see a thing recently, and he strongly said he wouldn't do it. But I did see a thing saying that they were going to try and get Daniel Radcliffe to play James. That's
some mixed feelings.
Yeah, I think he's right to steer away from that, and I think he would. I think since Harry Potter finished, he's done everything he possibly can to be, I'm an actor, I'm not just Harry Potter.
Yeah, and it's something that the three young kids that are going into this need to be aware of.
Yeah.
That once you do this role, you are going to be known as that character.
Yeah, Harry, Ron, or Hermione, without a shadow of a doubt.
When you look at Emma Watson, he's still, to most people, Hermione.
Well, she's practically retired from acting now. She did a few roles, a few good films. She did a couple of very smart good films I watched as well. One with Tom Hanks, which was really clever. I can't think of the name, like The Circle or something like that.
I haven't seen it, but I know which one you mean. Yeah.
And she's practically done now. She's just doing advocacy work. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Rupert Grint has done loads of mad stuff. And I've seen Daniel Radcliffe. And the biggest problem with Daniel Radcliffe is he doesn't seem to age. He still looks like a young boy. Which I've seen him, like, he played this Russian character with a beard and stuff, and I'm like, they've got a stuck-on beard, a little boy. It's weird. Which I think is going to be problematic for him for any role. But then he's done a lot of comedy stuff since, which has been hilarious.
Yes, he was in the what's it called? The Woman in Black. The stage show, they made that into a movie.
Yeah.
Which is a very kind of serious horror role.
Yeah. But to land this then, to wrap this up, looking forward to it.
Yes.
I'm obviously a little bit nervous because with anything like this, you want it to do well, but you sort of look at a few things they're doing, like around the casting, and think, are you creating problems for yourself on day one? But I mean, my feeling towards this is that the books, from your point of view, excellent. The films, my point of view, really good. This is going to be the TV series version of this. I want it to do well. My daughter obviously wants to watch it and wants it to do well. I think for a whole generation of kids, this will be their Harry Potter. This will be their on-screen version. and that's exciting. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But that is it. That is our show. That was episode 9 3/4. Episode 10 will be next week. And episode 10, part of our concept with this new lineup is every so many episodes is we're going to stop, take a breath, and go through the feedback and the questions and the stuff that's been sent in from the first few episodes. So we always say at the end of every episode, get in touch, let us know what you think on these different things. And the idea is we'll then go through them like every sort of 10th episode. That's the idea. So like a Q&A, but more based on what we've been talking about. Please do get in touch. You can email that in directly, sam@stuffandthangspodcast.com, via any of the socials, or by all means join us and have a chat with us on our Discord. The links to all of that will be in the podcast description. Until next time, everybody, when episode 10 will be next week, you all take care, and I will leave you now with Stefan with his final thoughts.
A doctor saying go to bed, you'll feel better in the morning, is the human equivalent of the IT guy asking you to turn it off and on again.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.